Shabbat shalom to everybody online. We're going to go ahead and get into class. Reminder, it is the Shabbat. Can you rest from all the things you do during the week? The mind state, the spirit, and really focus in on the Most High this weekend. You know what I mean? Can you do that for the Most High? Put your things aside. Your flesh, your mind, your mouth for Yahweh. We got to remember that it is the Shabbat. Put the Most High first, which is supposed to happen every day. We're going to go over class tonight. We do have what's the feast? Purim, which is on, that's next Friday, ain't it?
Next Thursday.
Oh, is it the 22nd and 23rd? Or is it the 23rd and 24th? Bang my lip. Jeez. Okay, so it's Thursday and Friday. So just let everybody know, next Thursday and Friday, we will not be having class, all right? Because we're going to be feasting, partaking in a little bit of this unity, a lot bit of brotherhood, sisterhood, some wine and food, and commemorating these holy days. So just a reminder for everybody online, and I know everybody that's usually online is usually in class. So y'all should already know this, but for the brothers and sisters that don't watch online, we got a few that are still out of state. Lashana, the brother from Washington, Isaac, the brother Gabar from Detroit, which he's actually moving to Houston. he's gonna be in H-Town.
H-Town.
Yeah. So we're not gonna be having class that day. If you don't know, brothers and sisters that are new to our channel, we have classes Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. If you're interested in not so much, let me not say that. I'm not going to be a smart ass. If you're interested in getting this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, well then, tune in. All right. We do look at, we answer your questions. We do it live, and we touch on various topics. All right. So if y'all do have any questions, feel free to hit us up and ask us about that. Check out our cable shows, our Hidden Truth, our 5 Minutes of Wisdom. That's another thing. Did y'all share the 5 Minutes of Wisdom? You gotta be a fanboy? We just talking about fanboys. You're not gonna be. You're part of the school. If everybody can share the 5 Minutes of Wisdom, go on there and let's get some views on that. It's a good one. And remember, 5 Minutes of Wisdom is giving a lot of people, young people in the world, something to tap into and use easily in their life, getting them to attract them to the Bible. That the Bible is a tool to use in your life. So that's what 5 Minutes of Wisdom is about. Some quick, I think the most, it's supposed to be 5 minutes, but it's maybe about 10 minutes we went the most. But it's a quick little topic, all right? And we got the other classes as well, the Hidden Truth, the news, which all those things, come on, sir. All those things we're going to be getting on top of. All right? Passover's coming up. We're all getting prepared for that. I want to, during the Passover, continually thank all the sisters that are taking time out, putting their spirit into these garments. Hard working. We know it takes a lot of time, spirit, and dedication. So we appreciate y'all for that. And we pray for the Most High to give your hands, the hands of patience, love, right? To do the work in love. So that's coming up March 31st, all right? Which is gonna be the celebration time, and we're gonna be going to H-Town,
San Antonio.
San Antonio. We're gonna be going to San Antonio, so everybody should know about that. If you're new to looking at us, you are invited. Come through. We are gonna celebrate the holy day, one of our greatest holy days. So keep that in mind. So everybody else knows. Don't forget to drop and help out for that. All right. At this point in time, you're not new. You've been here. You eat, sleep, this. So we know what we got to do. Other than that, does anybody got any questions off the topic we're going to go over tonight? If not, I'll jump right into it. Anything? Okay. All right. Well, we're going to go into this topic. This topic is called The Secrets of the Heart Being Revealed. Yeah.
Yeah, just something real quick.
Yeah.
Me and Howard Rock were just talking about it, about the feathers that I have in this jacket.
Right.
Because I was just saying, like.
Is it swine, my brother?
Right. Yeah, because that was what I was saying. I was like.
What were you saying? It's swine?
No.
Well, most likely it's probably synthetic, right?
No, well, it's real, it's waterfowl feathers. So those the birds that deal with swimming in the water. So, but
well, now you got to do your research, right?
Yeah, but my thing was that the only animals I see we wasn't supposed to touch was the swan. Now I know we wasn't supposed to eat certain animals, but it wasn't more animals we wasn't supposed to like touch and have on.
You said it wasn't? I didn't get that last
Yeah,
thing.
is it any animals that we're not supposed to wear?
Well,
Outside
we
of the
already
swan.
know that the carcasses of anything unclean, it didn't have to go through it and list all of them.
Yeah.
Whatever is unclean and not permitted to eat.
Right.
Right? Like when the scripture says that is clothed footed and chewed the cud, what was that doing?
That's a cleansing process.
No. Right, no. But why would it point that out? Because it put all these things in the category.
Oh, right. Okay.
Right? Did it say, thou shalt not eat the horse? It don't say that, but it put it with if they don't chew the cud and be cloven footed, then you know, oh, I can't eat that. It's unclean. I don't wear its carcass. It's unclean. So same thing with the birds. Whatever birds are unclean, we're not supposed to touch the carcass. So you got to figure out if it's unclean birds.
That definitely unclean birds.
Well, then there you go. You see? So you know what you got to do. Go to the backyard, get some lighter fluid. You know, I could say, listen, don't be over righteous, but at this point in time, is it really worth it? Huh. You can go buy another jacket. You know what I mean? You can keep the law. Nobody's stopping you. You know what I mean? And you're not sleeping on the street where you need that jacket. That jacket just makes you look good as hell. I know you're like, damn, I bought it, but that's a law you can keep. You have power over that. Right? And then you ask the question. Right? Yeah.
Because with going with that, if I'm thinking of it right, did John the Baptist had camel's hair, correct?
John the Baptist
wore camel's hair.
Wore the hair. So there's been a thing about that. Whether was it camel's hair or was the hair of it lawful? Now, I've been actually trying to research that myself. I talked to your high priest Yeshaya about that, and that's where we got into the conversation. Was it the hair that was okay? Because it wasn't the carcass?
Yeah. Because like with that kind of go with what he's asking, because it's the feathers, but not the actual skin.
But not the actual skin, see?
Kind.
You know, but that's the in-between that we don't have written. Right? It never said the hair. It's not the flesh. So there you go. We know in part, we prophesy in part. And that one is not clear. You know what I mean? We leave it alone. And that's why we don't use boar bristles, right? Because isn't that the hair? Yeah. So you got that too. See, now when you start playing around with that, what you gonna say?
Skin.
My brush is lawful.
My brush is lawful. So, but you see where in the law, that remember, what the Most High gave us is what we go off of. You know what I mean? And we can create doctrines and arguments off of that. Why do you think Paul came back and said we know in part, we prophesy in part? Right? Yeah. So, there you go. I know. What's up? You was gonna say something.
I was gonna say about the football, pigskin. What about like the sports?
Yeah. I mean, you don't supposed to be touching it.
God.
I mean, truthfully, I mean that's one we have there easily to be understood. Don't touch the carcass. Don't touch the skin. Like I think what we're talking about is a little ambiguous. It's like it's not written. Oh, the hair, right? So you see John the Baptist wear the hair.
Right.
So we can argue about that one, but what we can't argue about is don't touch the skin, the carcass. It's pig skin. You don't supposed to be playing with that.
Do they make
Get you a synthetic one. Fake. Are they still pig skin though? Nah, like the footballs they're not using real.
No, they're not using real.
They're using fake rubber. Yeah, I'm talking about at least the ones we buy in Walmart and stuff like that.
right?
Yeah. Right. So, all right. Let's get into this topic. If there's nothing else.
Question.
Yeah.
I wanted to know why Moab was the washing pot in what sense?
Why more? Well, then we would have to go through the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
No. I mean, it's not a problem. That's an easy one. Let's go there. Go to Psalms 83 because what is the Most High saying to all the nations? Is the question.
Yeah.
Let's start from verse 1.
Psalm chapter 83, verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel.
Okay, so the scripture is stating the subject of the topic. We're dealing with what?
Crafty counsel.
We're dealing with our enemies.
Yeah.
Right? And we know, yes, they have crafty counsel. Well, we're dealing with our enemies, the enemies of the Most High. Right? Go ahead.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
Right?
And consulted against thy hidden one.
Yeah.
They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Okay, so he's talking about our enemies and what they're plotting against us. Okay? Go ahead.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee.
Right. So what he's going to say about the enemies, is it endearment? Huh? Okay then. So that answers your question right there.
Yeah.
What does it mean to be a washpot?
I don't know.
Well, what happens when you wash your clothes?
Oh,
What happens when you wash your dishes?
Oh,
What?
they get clean.
Yeah, they gonna get cleaned, all right. But more, once again, it wasn't an endearment title. It was what? You're dirty as hell,
Oh.
right? You're my wash pot. He wasn't saying, you know, yeah, I'm gonna clean you up, make you white as snow, like he said to us. He's saying, you're dirty, right? And why? Because what are we talking about? We're talking about nations that plot and plan against us. So, I know we didn't even go there yet, but go ahead.
Verse 6.
Uh-huh.
The tabernacles of Edom
Right,
and the Ishmaelites.
right.
Oh.
So it's reminding all these nations plotted against us. Right? Go ahead.
Of Moab
Right?
and the Hagarine.
Okay, so now let's go to the one you're talking about.
Come.
Where you at?
Oh, I don't know where it's at. I
Oh.
just had the question. My bad.
How you asking the question you don't know where it's at? Nah, what's good with that? 60 and 8? Yeah. Psalm 60 and 8.
Counting.
Go ahead.
Psalm chapter 60 and verse 8.
Uh-huh.
Moab is my washpot.
Right. So, okay, jump up to, but verse 7.
Count. Verse 7. Gilead is mine,
Right.
and Manasseh is mine.
Right.
Ephraim also is the strength of my head.
Right.
Judah is my lawgiver.
Right.
Moab is,
Who is the lawgiver?
Judah is my lawgiver.
I showed that to Levi. I said, let me show you something. Judah's my lawgiver. Go ahead.
Moab is my washpot.
Right.
Over Edom will I cast out my shoe.
Now we know why. Psalms 83. This is, look, Gilead, these people are my chosen, right? These people are my priests. But Moab is my washpot. Why? Because that's what the Most High, that was an endearment. It was the wars we were going through with them and all the things they contributed to our captivity. Go ahead.
Philistia, triumph down
Right.
because
Over Edom will I cast my shoe. The Most High said he will stump the residue of Esau. Right? You remember when that person from Iraq threw his shoe at George Bush? That's disrespectful.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, obviously, anybody, no, but in the Middle East, you know, that's disrespect, right? That's like F you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Con, right? So, that's what the Most High is saying to these nations. This is an endearment he's telling them. He's saying, you're garbage. I'm going to kill you. Right? Philistia, triumph thou because of me. Go ahead.
who will bring me into the strong city?
Uh-huh.
Who will lead me into Edom?
Right?
Will not thou, O Yahweh, which hast cast us off?
Uh-huh.
And thou, O Yahweh, which didst not go out with our armies?
Right. So you got to remember, this is David and what he was going to do to these nations and what he was going to go lay down as far as punishment. He was going to judge them. And in the spirit, we know what's going on here too, right?
Yeah.
That, like, when Psalms 83, and I'm not going to say David because there's a few psalmstrists in here. But when you, makes you want to jump back and figure that out, huh? Asaph. So Asaph wrote Psalms 83. But when you look at all these kings making these, we know the Most High in spirit put this in them. So it wasn't just for the moment of what they were going to do military-wise, but this was in the spirit, the Most High showing us what was going to happen to these nations. From the Moabites, right, all through that Psalms 83, right? Everybody was going to be punished for their part of what they did against the children of Israel, right? So, yeah, you brought that up. I was saying to myself, who are these Gazans? Because the Most High got them. He's whooping their butt. He's whooping their butt like Africans. So I was wondering, like, really, who were they? Were they really Hamites? Are they Philistines? Are they? Because a lot of them are damn not. They're real people. So I was just thinking about the same thing. I was like, when I was learning about how Israel, when they came in, they started locking down the four sections of where they're at. I was like, man, you've been living like this for how long? They said one city got 178, basically, 178 security points. Yeah, and if you're a Gazan, you can't just move around in the different places and quarters that the Gazans live in. You lose, it's crazy. I was like, wow, they live like they're in jail. Checkpoints at every point. And even when you look at Gaza, they surrounded it. They live there supposedly free, but imagine you trying to get out. The food, the water, what else was it? It was some other things, like all that supplied by Israelis. So they got you on lock. Yeah. What's up, Ike?
It puts you in the mind of the Hunger Games.
Right. And that's how it looks over there. It's like you got no freedom, so you can see. But no, going back to the people that's named in here, I think we read about Philistia. Triumph thou because of me. Triumph because thou of me. Triumph thou because of me. Over me. It says by an irony. It says here in the note, by an irony. Triumph thou over me by irony. Right? Well, we know what happened with that. We just read a lot of that history. Like a lot of these Hamites were amongst us. That's why we were constantly going to war with it. So anyway, that makes sense? Yeah, this wasn't something, it wasn't something nice. We know a wash pot these are old school curses. These are old school curses. You know what I mean? Calling you trash, calling you garbage, calling you not worth anything. So that's what that is. The Bible calls them what? Bywords? Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yes, I always remember, like my mom used to have those wash pots, and they used to look. I never used to like washing dishes in those, cause I think it's like inside of there is like real dirty, cause all the food is just floating around in there, and you steady washing dish after dish in there. It's like real dirty water up in there.
Right. When you think of wash pot, you're not thinking like you're thinking like you're dirty.
Yeah.
Everything comes. He didn't say you're my dish. He said you're the pot. So what's in the pot? Dirt. Yeah. Okay. All right. If nobody has anything else, let's go ahead and go into this top. You see anything online? So that's on that. That's on the internet. The COTS. You know what I mean? So we log into our. How they give you free. Yeah. So we'll see how that works. This class is about not knowing. There is or no? What's the question?
Can I get an understanding of 1 Corinthians 3?
Okay, pause that. 1 Corinthians 3, 5, and 6. We'll answer this question, then we'll jump back into that. Oh man, who's that? I almost wanted to just take the whole class for that one. But I'll answer this one quick. First Corinthians what?
1 Corinthians chapter 3, verses 5 and 6.
Yeah, I'll just go straight to the point on this. 3, 5, and 6. Go ahead, read that.
1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 5. Who then is Paul?
Right?
And who is Apollos?
Right?
But ministers by whom ye believe, even as the Most High gave to every man.
So when you read from 3, verse 1 down to verse 5, or 6, right? He's pointing out how that basically we're doing our job. We're just ministers, ministering the spiritual food, right? Verse 1, read that.
Verse 1. And I, brethren, could not speak unto you as unto spiritual,
Right?
but as unto carnal, even as unto babes in Hamashiach.
I can't get into this deep talk because you're not able to stomach it. You're not able to process that, right? Like a baby's belly, you can't process the meat. I gotta talk to you like babes. This is what he's saying to them. Go ahead.
I have fed you with milk.
Right, I fed you with the basics. I did my job, which is giving you the foundation, right? Go ahead.
And not with meat.
Read.
For hitherto you were not able to bear it.
Yeah, if I would have jumped into all those things, you would. This is what a lot of brothers don't realize is that everybody wants to jump into the meat, but you haven't got the foundation down, and then you choke on the meat, right? And it's crazy because the meat now is what? The things that you're supposed to actually be working on. That's the deep stuff. Oh damn, I didn't know I was supposed to change. And then you choke on that. You're like, you know what I mean? Nah, I'm gonna go over here where I don't have to change. Go ahead.
Neither yet now are ye able.
Right? And you're not able to bear this. He said at this point in time, you're still not able to bear the meat. So I'm dealing with you with the milk. Go ahead.
For ye are yet carnal.
Right, you're carnal minded. How do I know? Read.
For whereas there is among you envy.
Yeah, you're dealing with the most basic thing that you're supposed to get when you come in the truth. Love your brother. Love your neighbor as yourself. But you haven't even got past that. You're still envying. Go ahead.
And strife.
And fighting. Go ahead.
And division.
You're dividing. Like, what are you talking about? Like, the things you're talking about is so carnal. Yeah, I know I gotta stick with the basics. That's why a lot of people, we said it before, brother. Well, why are you always talking about spiritual topics? Because if you don't have your spiritual basic foundation down, what's the point of all these breakdowns and things of that nature? It's not gonna do you no good. What does it do? It puffs men up. It puffs women up with knowledge, but then you're a castaway. You can't even teach others because you won't teach yourself. Go ahead.
Are ye not carnal and walk as men?
Right? Right. If you're doing this, is that not carnal minded? The answer is yes. Read.
For while one saith, I am of Paul.
And how do I know? Because you're jumping on acronyms bandwagon. Right? You're on this bandwagon or that bandwagon. Like, that's why we got to do our part not to promote that folly. And I was joking about it earlier, the fanboy thing, but that's what the world be on. The world be on the bandwagon acronym. You guys are flashy. You guys are like it's like a game to people. They try to make the truth like a clique and a crew. It's supposed to be about the Most High. That's why I put on Facebook that today. It's like you're doing exactly what the religions did. That's why you got so many religions, because one brother would leave, jump on his own line, start his own bandwagon. He's I'm rolling with Apollos. Apollos, bro, he goes and do it, right? Go ahead.
Are ye not carnal?
Right, you're carnal minded. You're forgetting the point. Go ahead.
Who then is Paul?
Right.
And who is Apollos?
Go ahead.
But ministers by whom ye believe,
right?
even as the Most High gave to every man.
We're all tools, replaceable tools. The Most High can replace us at any time. Go ahead.
I have planted,
Right?
Apollos watered,
Right?
but the Most High gave the increase.
And that's how we gotta look at it. Well, he ain't rolling with you. I planted. Okay, the next brother got water. And then the Most High give the increase. You know what I mean? Everybody you pass a flyer out to probably ain't gonna end up here. Everybody GOCC pass a flyer out to probably won't end up with GOCC. And that's what it is. The Most High opens things up on every level. Why? That's the way it is, right? Go ahead.
Verse 7. So then neither is he that planteth anything,
Right.
neither he that watereth.
See, I don't think a lot of these Israelite brothers see that. That you ain't shit. You ain't nothing. Like, you just a tool. But, what is it? Black people love bravado. They love swag. They love it. They love to be the man. You know what I mean? They love to have the biggest, you know what I mean, cars, and biggest this, biggest that. It's like, that's how it is. So you want to garner attention, and attention is not even, it's not about you. It's not about us. You know what I mean? So no, we're not gonna make fan art with me at the head of the round table. It's like, y'all are silly with that shit. I be wanting to lose it, man. I gotta apply a lot of knowledge that I preach. It's like, you're silly with that. You want to make you the Knights of the Round Table. You want to put a brother up there like he's Christ. You want to put the 144,000 only in your school. It's like, but they're not seeing this right here. That none of us we might not even be the chosen. How about that? Right? And I know the ones joking, y'all ain't, but we are. Nobody knows that. And you're a fool to say that. That you got it, and you gonna make it, and this brother ain't, or this sister ain't. We don't know that yet. Right? So, that's funny, that goes into tonight's class. But, that was it? 6 and 7. It was the wrong chapter. Okay, we can go to 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians what? I mean, she asked it. We can only go by what she pulled. All right. So hopefully that answers that.
That was for somebody else.
Right?
It's in the spirit.
But she wrote in the chat that one?
She wrote in the chat now.
Oh, but it was 2 Corinthians what?
2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 5.
3 verse 5. Go ahead.
Not that we are sufficient of ourselves.
2 Corinthians 3
God.
and 5.
God.
Okay. Start from what?
2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 1.
You know why I do this? Because I'm trying to show y'all, don't be like damn religions. Don't try to use scriptures out of context when you got to know the context of what's being said. And then that context fits in the topic of that topic. You can't use that out of the context of it. Like, he wasn't even talking about that. Right? But you're using it. So if you start from the beginning, y'all get that. So read that. Come on.
2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 1. Do we begin again to command ourselves?
Right?
Or need we, as some others, epistles of commendation?
Combination. Like, how you say it?
Commendation.
Commendation. Right. Commendation. Right?
To you.
So once again, I love Paul because he does it to himself, and he reminds us what? Sit down, be humble. Sit down, be humble. That's why I like him. Like, even though he does a lot but he reminds us that he's not boasting of himself. Right? It's something that a lot of us Hebrew Israelites, need to constantly chew up and regurgitate. And it's not about you. Stop thinking you're the man, right? Do we been to commend ourselves? You going, good job, right? Good job. It says let another man praise you. Right. So you see how he starts out? It's not about us, right? Go ahead.
Or letters of commendation from you.
Right. Or do we, yes, the scriptures say, let another man praise thee, right? And not thy own mouth. You know what I mean? But he's saying, is this necessary? Do I need to be commended? Right? Go ahead.
Ye are our epistle written in our hearts.
Listen, our works show, right? The writings show because our actions show. What is in our heart? You see in our actions. Go ahead.
Known and read of all men.
Go ahead.
For as much as ye are manifestly declared to be the epistle of Hamashiach.
Right. You know what he's saying. The epistles is the writing, right?
God.
He said, but you are literally look, if you want to look at my writings, look at you.
Right.
You are the writings in the flesh.
God.
Right? Go ahead.
Ministered by us.
Right? You see my works through you.
God.
Right? You know them by their fruit. Go ahead.
Written not with ink.
Right?
But with the spirit of the living power.
Right. So you got the living word in action. Right? It's beyond just the writing. Go ahead.
Not in tables of stone.
Right.
But in fleshly tables of the heart.
Right. In fleshly tables of your heart. Right? My epistle is written in you. You can see it in action. It's in your heart. It's in my heart. Right? Go ahead.
And such trust have we through Christ to Godward. Not that we are sufficient of ourselves.
Not that we pat ourselves on the back. You know what? I did a good job. So what? You know what I mean? You're patting yourself on your back. You're giving yourself kudos. Yahweh Shai is going to raise up and he's going to put down. Right? A lot of us got that problem. You're not going off of the standard of the Most High. You're going off of your own standard. I'm good. The Most High knows my heart. You start talking like Christians. The Most High knows my heart. No, bro, what's the standard? So, right? Then the scriptures say what? That if he sent 1 of 1,000 to do what? To warn me, right? To warn you what? Bro, don't go that way. So that same 1 of 1,000 will prove you. Oh, you know what? Every man shall proclaim his own good, but his brother will come and do what? Prove him. Show him his righteousness, right? Go ahead.
To think anything of ourselves, but our sufficiency is of the Most High.
See, so where do we glory in that we're good enough? Is it of ourselves or is it of the Most High? You would think, not nowadays. Nowadays, it's what? I'm gonna gauge and pat myself on the back where I feel I'm good. And this isn't good enough for Yahweh. So he's checking that spirit and the spirit in Israel. This is the problem with Israel, right? Yeah, I'm good enough because I got the breakdown now. You know what I mean? I'm still beating off, but I can yell Christ is black. I still smoke a cigarette on the low, but I can yell Christ is black. So, I'm sufficient of myself. I'm good out there. Right?
Wouldn't that be the same mindset as Cain?
Exactly. The same mind state as Cain. Go ahead.
Who also have made us able ministers of the New Testament.
So, reminding you, listen, who gave you this gospel And who made you a minister? The Most High, Yahweh Shai, right? So why would your efficiency be of yourself? Or why would you pat yourself on your own back? What verse you wanted me to go to?
5 and 6.
Go ahead.
Not of the letter, but of the Spirit.
Right, not of the letter. Go ahead.
But of the Spirit.
Go ahead.
For the letter killeth.
Right, the letter killeth. Because according to the written law, right, we supposed to be dead. You came in, you weren't sure about the feather. Like, what's the punishment, Well, you break one, you break them all. You're like, but damn, death wasn't in every case, but sin is death. Sin is death. Right? So the letter killeth. Right? Meaning the written law, when you broke that law, it was death. Right? And you say, well, every law wasn't go bring him out and kill him, but you died because of the sin. It broke down something in you. Right? When you do wickedness, it breaks down. Like if you're a deceiver or a liar, it breaks down. Like you know in your conscience you're doing wrong. You're a murderer. The first time you murder, you know you're doing wrong. Right? Whatever sin you're doing. You in the back of your mind, especially if you're Israelite, you know, damn, this is off.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So the letter kills you. Go ahead.
But the Spirit giveth life.
But the Spirit giveth life. The Spirit of who? Of Yahweh Shai. Right? What he came to do is show us how to walk in the Spirit. Right? And move past the written letter. Because we know, according to the written letter, if you break one law, you break them all, right? So if if my justification is written law, then what happens? I'm condemned. So I got to move in the Spirit of the Most High, right? Come? Okay, let's go to Galatians real quick. For all you lawyers, you should already knew where we're going to go. Go to Galatians 3, 10.
Galatians chapter 3 and verse 10. For as many as are of the work of the law.
Right. So as many as of the work of the law or the letter, because the letter do what? It kills. Right? Go ahead.
Are under the curse.
What is the curse? Read on.
For it is written, curses everyone that continue not in the things.
No, I see on mine. It's just like.
Okay, let's continue.
It's on.
Yeah, we're back.
Because the problem is the thing is we supposed to take the thing off of sleep and keep going to sleep. Could you do it without it going to sleep, without closing the app?
I would have to.
You'd have to close the app? Yeah, what you gotta do is touch the screen so it won't go to sleep. You gotta tap it. Yeah, I know.
I'll be a huckleberry.
Yeah. So are y'all understanding this so far?
God.
No, that was not confident. I don't know what that was. All right, let's come back to being Hebrew Israelites. Do y'all? Okay, or if not, then say no. Okay, her question is where?
2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 5 and 6.
Okay, read 2 Corinthians 3 and 5 again.
Now that we are sufficient of ourselves
Right?
to think anything as of ourselves,
Right?
but our sufficiency is of the Most High,
Go ahead.
who also have made us able ministers of the New Testament,
Go ahead.
not of the letter,
Right.
but of the Spirit.
Right?
For the letter killeth,
Right.
but the Spirit giveth life.
The letter killeth, but the Spirit. Just try to do it real quick. Try to do it real quick and let's see what happens. You got it? There you go. is literally giving us the details of how the letter killeth. How does it? If you don't keep the letter to the written law, you die. Y'all see that? Okay, read Galatians 3 and 11.
Verse 11. But that no man is justified by the law in the sight of God. It is evident, for the just shall live by faith.
See? So it's the spirit. If it was the letter, and I'm just answering this, we can go back. Remember, we're only talking about justification. Justification is separate from you keeping the law. You still got to keep the law. But you have to understand that you're not going to be justified by the law. Because if that was the case, we don't need Christ. Right? We didn't need him to come for us if the law was going to justify us. We could have just said, I kept all the law, and I'm making it into the kingdom. But this is about we knowing that the law is righteousness. We are to keep the law of the Most High, but know that, in essence, when you don't even know it, you're breaking the law. Like, you're like, damn, I didn't know the feathers. I didn't know the toothpaste had pork in it. And you're like, yeah, you've been eating pork the whole time, brother. Yeah, you've been brushing your hair with pork. So you see why we can't be justified by the letter? Because in some way, especially during this time, we fail and break the law. So Yahweh Shai had to come in and show you, okay, I'm going to show you how to live in the spirit, right, of the Most High, keeping the law, but in the spirit of the Most High. So now we're justified through who?
Yahweh Shai.
We're justified through Yahweh Shai. That's why when it comes back down to it, when we're judged, what are we going to be judged by? We're going to be judged by the law, but you're going to be judged by grace. Okay. You came in the truth 2 years. This is what you knew. According to what you knew, what did you do? Not what you didn't know, what you did know. That's why it says, he that knoweth shall be beaten with what? Many stripes. And he that knoweth not shall be beaten with what? You still gonna get beat. You still gonna get punished. But the Most High is gonna judge us according to what we know. And to whom much is given,
Much is required.
You see, like there's no escape. But the guy that just came in, he came in 2 weeks. He just put down the cigarette. He's going to be judged according to the little that he knew. He didn't know all the breakdowns. He didn't know the deep connection to this scripture to that scripture. But what he did know is he was supposed to get his heart, his spirit, his mind, and try to follow the laws and commandments, right? Did he do that? And that's what the Most High is going to judge us by. Read on. Verse 11.
I'm at 12.
Read verse 11.
Concept. But that no man is justified by the law,
right,
in the sight of God,
right,
it is evident,
right,
for the just shall live by faith.
Read.
And the law is not of faith, but the man that doeth them.
Right, see, the law is not of faith because it was just do it. You didn't have to believe, just do it.
Just do it.
Follow it. Do what the Most High told you. It's a command. Right? Go ahead.
Shall live in them.
Right. You had to live in them. That was the law. You had to live in them. You see? So now you got Yahweh Shai walking in the spirit of the Most High, keeping the law. Keeping the law. Right? Y'all get this? Read on. Verse 13.
Christ hath redeemed us from the curse of the law.
Christ has redeemed us from the curse of the law. The letter what?
The letter killeth.
The letter killeth. So what did Christ do? Okay, you broke the contract. You didn't keep it to its entirety. So what I got to do is put an amendment. The amendment in this case is grace. I'm going to give you grace because you messed up And the way it's set up, you're gonna mess up all the time with dealing with the letter. So I'm gonna show you how to walk in the Spirit in faith, right? And move like that. I'm gonna show you how to move like that, right? Y'all get that? Okay, go ahead.
Christ have redeemed us from the curse of the law, being made a curse for us.
Go ahead.
For it is written, cursed is every one that hangeth on a tree.
Now jump to 2 and 16. So y'all see that, right? Christ died for us because we broke the law, because we didn't keep the contract according to the letter. So when it says the letter killeth, it literally means if you don't keep the law to its entirety, bruh, you were what? You would die, right? Especially if you were just straight out breaking the law. It didn't matter what you was doing. They would kill you. Like you were just breaking the law.
Lawless.
You were lawless, right? So the Most High showing us Yahushua had to come to show us how to walk in the Spirit, still keeping the law, trying our best ability to strive for this perfection, right? Go ahead.
Galatians chapter 2, verse 16. Knowing that the man is not justified by the works of the law.
See? Right there, telling it. Why? Because in essence, you can't be justified by the works of the law. If that was the case, bruh, we would have made it into the kingdom without Yahushua. Right. We would have all did the commandments and the laws, right? Go ahead.
But by faith in Jesus Christ.
See, but now by faith. Remember, for all the Christians out there that does this not disannul Matthew 5:17. Right. That does not disannul Romans 3:31, Romans 6 verse 15. What he's just telling us that if you're saying, I don't need Christ, right? What are a lot of Jews saying? So-called Jews. I don't need Christ. I got the law. And the law makes me righteous. Then that means that if you were judged by that law, according to that law, you'd be sentenced for breaking one of the least commandments. You see that? What?
Which is to believe in Christ, which is one of the commandments.
There you go. So, right, it destroys them anyway, right?
Right.
Cheers.
Does that make sense? So we keep the law, but we keep the law in the Spirit. Like knowing that, yeah, now I know. Like I said to you earlier, now you know. So what do you got to do? You got to put that away. You know, or, we talk about other things, but y'all get it, right? If you find out that was swine, you don't be like, well, God gave me grace. Go. It's like, wait a minute. Brother, he gave you grace for the mess up. The grace was you didn't know. Now you know, you put that away. And that's what you're seeing. No matter how long we're in the truth, you find out something else was diluted with pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, horse ass, baby guts. It's like, how did baby parts get into this? And it's like, the devil is what? Constantly trying to get you to be judged before the Father. But that's why Yahushua was there. He gave you grace to say, nah, listen, if I didn't come in, everything we'd be done. Y'all see that? So you see why you can't say, you know what? I kept the law. Nah, bro, you got to embody the law in the Spirit above all and know that Yahushua is your justification. Yeah.
So it'd be safe to say that the brother who rolled up on Yahushua, who said, I kept the law
Right.
from my youth up, him turning back, and because he had great riches, broke the law.
He broke the law. Right? See, but he was justifying himself by the law and saying, I'm good. Shit, I kept the commandments from my youth up. I did this. You said 10 commandments, brother. There's over how much?
613.
There's 613 laws. What are you talking about? So Yahushua is like, okay, you can imagine that, right? Yahushua chewing gum. Okay, he's like, okay, brother, go sell everything you have, come follow me. I don't want to keep that. That's not necessary for me. All I gotta do is go back to what?
Keeping the law.
Keeping the law. Yahweh Shai was showing us, bro, you're not justified in the law. You've been broke those. You've been messed up. That's why I'm here. Go ahead.
Right.
That we might be justified by the faith of Christ.
Right, by the faith of Christ. Okay, wait a minute. We got to believe that it's possible. In the possibility, I'm striving for perfection. I'm cleaning up my ways. I'm letting go of those things. And I'm trying to keep the law to my best ability. Right? Go ahead.
And not by the works of the law.
See? Go ahead.
For by the works of the law shall no flesh be justified.
See? It's telling you there. You see that? For the sake of the new people, go to Romans 3:31. Go to Romans 6:15. I gotta do this because this is a strong topic. You can't remember what I told you about taking pieces of the Bible and not adding all the other pieces. If you leave those pieces out, it's vital pieces in a vital subject.
Right.
So we can't leave that out. Romans 3:31.
Romans chapter 3, verse 31. Do we then make void the law through faith?
Read.
God forbid.
There you go. Go ahead.
Yea, we establish the law.
See, you see how deep this is?
Right.
It's so deep, like if you don't know how, if you don't even know what he wrote, forget. The reason why we got to go precept upon precept here a little, there a little, because you don't know what the hell he said in the last chapter because you didn't read all that.
Right.
Bring it out.
And they said we cherry picking.
Right, you didn't say, right, exactly. Like, you didn't read, like, you're just going to disannul his whole other letter?
Right.
Like, no, he's not saying not to keep the law. He's just telling us, listen, if you think solely you're going to be justified by the law, you're missing it. It's not going to work like that, bro. Because you failed at that, right? Go ahead, Romans. So, do we make void the law through faith? Oh, I believe, brother. I believe Jesus in my heart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That don't mean nothing.
Right.
You still don't eat pork.
Right.
The whole point, the law is righteous. That's why I said we could be at this all day. Romans 6, verse 15.
Romans chapter 6, verse 15.
Go ahead.
What then? Shall we sin? Because we are not under the law.
What part are we not under? We just read it in Galatians 3. We're not under the death of the law. We're not under, hey, bring her out. I call her an adultery. Okay, well, he that is without sin cast the first stone. Right, hold on a second, y'all. Slow the hell down. Because everybody, I know all of y'all been doing something. I'm putting cases on all you. Right? And that was the point of that, to show us what? If we were going to judge by the law, won't we do righteous judgment? You can't be a judge and then you over there doing filthy too.
Right.
It didn't work like that. Right. So, read it again.
What then? Shall we sin? Because we are not under the law,
right?
But under grace.
Go ahead.
Yahweh forbid.
Right?
No.
Yahweh forbid. Right. So what does that mean? And what is sin?
Transgression of the law.
Transgression of the law. So that's all you got. You see how it all goes together? Like once you know where the writings, you're like, okay, it's deep though. It's written like this. Remember, the Bible is written like this. It says it. That they may stumble and fall back. It's literally created as a Pandora's box. Right. For the ones that really don't get it, you like, boom, stumble on it. A lot of brothers are stumbling on it, and a lot of Christians are stumbling on it. The brothers are justifying themselves in the law. That's a mistake. Right? Without Yahweh, but you believe in Yahweh Shai, brother. What are you talking about? They don't go through this book and really understand that you can't just be gun-ho law without remembering Yahweh Shai is in there, right? And Yahweh Shai has so many things he showed us in the law that you missed, right? So then Christians, we know what they do. Oh, the law's done away with. I can eat pork. I can sin and say I believe in Christ. Right. You transgressing the law. right? So y'all get that, right? Right, and I know we could jump to Romans 7. There's a lot more on that. There's a lot more in those. So ask her if she understood that. What you got?
Still holding.
What?
Galatians 2 and 16.
2 and 16? Let me see here.
You read it. I read it. I didn't know if you was gonna go to 17.
2:17? No, that's it on that.
Okay.
Make sure she got that. And if she got that, Jesus, time. If she got that, we'll move on. Yeah. What's the other question? Okay. Yes. She's leading it that way. Okay. This class gotta come on. Come on. Good. 2 Corinthians 3.
Verse 14.
She been in that Corinthians, man. Just like me, I've been in the Corinthians too. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff in here. 2 Corinthians what?
Verses 14, 15.
2 Corinthians 3, 14 and 15? Okay, go ahead.
2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 14. But their minds were blinded, for until this day.
No. Let's jump back. You can't do that. Yeah.
7?
I know, right?
Start at 1.
But didn't we go here?
We stopped at 6.
We're in the chapter, but she won 4. Okay. So yeah, start at verse 7.
God, verse 7. But if the ministration of death,
Right?
written and engraved in stone,
The commandments, go ahead.
was glorious.
Which it was, right? Now go to Romans 7.
7 verse 7.
Let's go to Romans 7 and 7.
Romans chapter 7 verse 7.
Uh-huh.
What shall we say then? Is the law sin? God forbid.
No. It's Romans 7 and 20. Hold on. No, let's jump on what we're on. Read for a second. Let's do it all over. Let's reestablish where we're at. Read 3 and 7. 2 Corinthians 3 and 7.
2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 7.
Uh-huh.
But if the ministration of death, written and engraved in stone.
What is the ministration of death? What is he referring to? What?
The law.
He's referring to the law because we just read what? The law killeth. It's the letter that killeth, right? Read verse 14, 7 and 14.
Romans chapter 7 verse 14.
Wait, right. Go ahead.
For we know that the law is spiritual.
Right. The law, the letter, what did it say? But if the ministration of death, written and engraven in stones, was glorious, what was glorious about it? It was spiritual. We didn't get it, but it was spiritual. That's why it was glorious. It was in the spirit of the Most High. Everything that was written in the law was what he's going to bring us back around to. That's why it's got to be written in our inward parts.
Hebrews says righteousness is more.
Right.
Keep those laws.
Talk in there.
The scripture says in Wisdom of Solomon, righteousness is a reward.
Right.
And what is righteousness? Keeping the law.
Right.
But when you don't eat the pork, you don't gotta die from a fatness of the ankles or whatever.
Right.
Right? Gout. Yeah, you ain't gotta get your leg covered.
Yeah.
When you ain't creeping through the window, sliding in DMs, you ain't gotta worry about getting your head blown off. Because you committed adultery.
Right.
Yeah, see that?
Perfect. The law is spiritual. It was supposed to bring us immortality. So that's what was glorious. Y'all get that? Okay, go ahead.
But I am coming.
No. Okay, jump back.
So that the children of Israel could not steadfastly behold the face of Moses for the glory of his countenance.
So what it's telling us here is this. When Moses came down from the mount and he had to wear a veil, that was symbolic of the glory that was coming from the law. That's all it's telling us. When he came down from the mount, that symbolism of him wearing the veil, his face was shining so much that he had to cover it. That was the law, to where it was showing us you really can't see this. You can't see me, right? So that's what's going on here. Y'all get that part? Okay. So that the children of Israel could not steadfastly behold the face of Moses for the glory of his countenance. Read.
Which glory was to be done away.
Which glory, which was the what? The law. Right? What part of the law was going to be done away with? What? The death of the law. Not the righteousness of the law. Right? Jump back to Romans 7. Romans 7, it says, it's verse 12.
Romans chapter 7 verse 12.
Go ahead.
Wherefore the law is holy.
The law is what?
Holy.
What?
Holy.
It's holy. You're not going to convince me that the law is wrong. He was not saying that. Like, this is what he means that I can't feed you meat. Because this is so deep, you're like, what are you saying? Like, the Christians don't get this. They're like, wait a minute, we supposed to keep the law? But it says the letters, that's not what he's saying. That would contradict it. It would be total damn confusion. Keep the law, but don't keep the law. You don't know, you're not understanding that when we're in the Spirit, the law will work in us. The law always meant to be holy. Go ahead.
And the commandment, holy. And just.
Read.
And good.
It's holy, just, and good. But here's the question. Go ahead.
Come. Was they that which is good made deaf unto me?
Read.
For
Well, here's the question.
Well,
here's the question. Hold on. Was that which was good made deaf unto me? Well, read on.
Yahweh forbid.
Right, Yahweh forbid. Meaning what? The law was not just created just to get you. I'm waiting for him to act up. Oh yeah, I see you look at her. Bring him out. You know what I mean? They doing something, right? It wasn't created for that, but it did do that. It wasn't created. The Most High didn't create this to destroy us. It created us to bring us to life. But we didn't lock into the spirit of the law. Read.
But sin.
But what?
But sin.
Read.
That it might appear sin.
So the law was there that way you can see what negative is, what sin is. And that's why he comes back, for I know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, so does sin. So there's no way you can take away the law. The law is in the spirit. It's one with each other. But see, the letter, the whole thing is that you out of the spirit. You out of the spirit, all right? So you didn't keep the law to the letter, nor did you gain any spiritual insight as pertaining to the conscience in the law. Y'all get this? Right. All right, go there. Go to Romans 2 and 29. Romans 2 and 29. And this is what was supposed to happen. Right? This is what was supposed to happen, but did not happen. Right? Because we're carnal. Go ahead.
Romans chapter 2, verse 29.
Go ahead.
But he is a Jew, which is one outwardly.
No, inwardly.
Yeah, Shalaki.
Oh, I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Have I been reading this wrong all these years?
Come on.
You read that with confidence too, bro. I was like, something's wrong here. Butterfly effect. Mandela effect.
My eyes are itchy.
I know.
They've been itchy for 2 days now.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Romans chapter 2, verse 29. But he is a Jew, which is one inwardly.
Right.
and circumcision is that of the heart.
See, all these things got to start from the spirit first.
Come.
They got to start from the inward, right? And then we can talk about that too. And I've been over that before. What availeth circumcision if you acted like a heathen? You see that? So two things got to happen here: the spirit and then the flesh, right? I'm locking into the spirit of the Most High. That is embodying the law, and in that I'm performing the actions of it. You see that? And where's the grace? Why is the grace there? Because as you're striving for the law to be the spiritual man, yet you didn't know they put pork in that. The woman, the bus you were on, she was on her menstrual cycle. You sat in that same seat. You're now unclean. You go home, they're unclean. It's a Sabbath. Everybody's unclean. But I thought we were supposed to be clean on the Sabbath. No, you just defiled everybody. Right? So grace had to be given. The Most High is ahead of us. It's like, I got to say grace because you guys are messing everything up. Wickedness will mess everything up. Sin will mess everything up. And now we're in a sinful nation. And how much more is it hard to keep our law, statutes, and commandments in this way? That's why I said, brothers that make that like a joke, they don't understand what they're talking about. Like, it literally is not what you think it is. Like, yes, there are some laws that's easy to keep. But we have to really understand from the Sabbath to our laws, we're not keeping them to the potency that we're supposed to. We're not keeping them. Now, that doesn't mean we just give up, though. Like, when you look at all these captivities we were in, we didn't give up. We were striving to keep the laws. You hear about the catacombs. The catacombs were underground to where we were running and hiding to what? Keep the laws. The laws. Keep the Sabbath. Get together. Right? The word, preach the word of the Most High. So, but the thing is that we don't really have like it's supposed to be a true Sabbath, a true Passover, right? To where you feast 7, 8 days. The Passover is how many days, y'all?
8 days.
The feast, the beginning part, and then you got the Feast of Unleavened Bread, right? And all that stuff wasn't even supposed to be around you. Imagine a city where all that's not around you. Right? Imagine a city where you get to feast the first and the last day and not have to run back to work. Right? Imagine a Sabbath or the new moons to where we can get together and feast. You know what I mean? Yeah, we want to do the new moons. We're like, but damn, we're going to get together every new moon and we're going to feast. In every regular Sabbath and get together. You see that? Do we have the power? Not like we want. Not like we want, y'all. Yeah, we're doing everything rush. Let's get together. Let's eat. No, we got to get out of here. Why? Because the master got us what? Back at work the next day. Like, damn, that's not a real Sabbath. You taking the whole thing about a Shabbat. You see what I'm saying? So this is where the Most High is knowing what is gonna be of us, and He's like, man, I gotta send them grace. I gotta send them Yahweh Shai to show them how to walk during these times, and be faithful that all these things can be done. It can be done. It can be kept. We gotta strive for perfection. Go ahead.
And circumcision is that of the heart.
Right. So that's it on that. Let's jump back.
Come.
Jump back to 2 Corinthians 3.
Come.
Go ahead.
2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 8.
Go ahead.
How shall not the ministration of the Spirit be rather glorious?
See, so if the ministration of the law, of the written letter, that, man, you get put to death for breaking, if that was glorious, how much more us being in the Spirit of the Most High, walking like Christ, how much more? See, how much more would that be glorious? Go ahead.
For if the ministration of condemnation be glory,
Right?
much more doth the ministration of righteousness exceed in glory.
See that? Y'all get that, right? What was the ministration of condemnation? The written law. You break one, you break them all. That's what he's referring to. And the ministration of the Spirit of the Most High is way more glorious. Right? Go ahead.
For even that which was made glorious had no glory in this respect.
Now he's getting a little deeper. He said, even the law was glorious, but it had no glory in this respect. Or the written letter had no glory in this respect. Go ahead.
By reason of the glory that excelleth.
Because there was something to come that was greater. It wasn't the law. The law wasn't glorious. It was that there was something greater that was going to come, exceed it, and bring us to a whole new level. And that's the difference between the letter and the spirit. You do the letter as a robot. You do it as a order. But the spirit is written in your heart. When we lock into the Spirit of the Most High, it becomes natural within our conscience, and we move according to that. You don't got to be reminded. Right? You don't got to go to the letter. It's like using the restroom. It's natural. Right? And that's what it's supposed to be like, right? When it comes to adultery, do you really got to talk yourself out of it? Man, I gotta do this. This chick is thick. Do you talk yourself out of it, or is it a natural thing to be like, oh, she got a man? That's done. Right? That's the spirit of the law working in you.
Right.
You don't need to see thou shalt not commit adultery. You know, show me that in the book, guys. You don't need to see that.
It sounds like eating pork, like that's sickening.
Yeah, it's sickening. But now I'm talking on that line of things that is naturally in you. But let's get deeper now, and we start talking about the law. And there's some things that's not naturally in you. What about envy? See, that ain't like eating pork and committing adultery. That right there. Now you're thinking like, I am jealous at times, and right? You know, now you start looking at yourself and start saying, damn, I'm not in the spirit like I thought I was. Right? I don't got it all down like I thought I had it. And then now you're what? Continually striving for perfection to purge yourself of these things in the world. Right? Unless you like Christians, and it's just the only 10 commandments, and then that's all you have to get good at. You see how, no, it's funny, but I'm being very facetious because that's what Israelites do. They almost move like Christians. Now I got my fringes, so I can go and curse this nigga out online. He's my brother. He said, that's your flesh of your flesh, though. Oh, he ain't my brother. Wait a minute, what? Did you not read what Christ said? What the hell is your problem? Now, that ain't my brother. Oh, okay. So you're doing that. You're going about to establish your own righteousness. You see? And when they do that, by the law, I'm good. I keep the Sabbath. I don't eat pork. I'm righteous. Even though I curse that brother out or maybe, smoked a little bit of that. Right? I'm good. You see? You see how dangerous that is? It's dangerous, huh? We can't move on that level. I never knew you worker of iniquity. Well, I taught in your name. I was preaching in, yeah, but you didn't do it with love. You were cursing it out, right? It wasn't about you saving those brothers and sisters. It was about you and your ego. Yep. It was about you and your fame. You wanted clicks, or you wanted people to acknowledge you.
You wanted to tell people you was doing work.
Yeah, I'm doing the work of the Most High. Right? Yeah, you didn't do that with love and charity.
That's what the brother told us today. He said, he witnessed some brothers teaching, and the way now, obviously can't pass the judgment because he wasn't there, but the way that the brother was explaining, the teachers, these Israelites, were condemning this man's wife in front of him. And he was like, damn, this brother can't even defend his wife, but you guys are talking about love? You trying to win me in? Why would I want to come into what you're saying if you're just cutting my wife down? You're cutting this brother's wife down in front of me.
Right.
That's not doing the work. That's doing your work. That's doing your will. You want to go out there and say, yeah, I cut him.
Yeah,
Cut him up.
cut them up.
Yeah, what about having compassion on the ignorant?
Right.
Supposed to heal.
Yeah.
But what's worse is that brothers do that while be doing crazy stuff behind the doors.
Oh, yeah.
Like, like, especially how these camps be giving out ranking t-shirts. Oh my God. They be giving out the t-shirt to damn cats that still on dope.
Yeah.
Still got adulterous feelings. Still is doing stuff sliding their rib. Right? Banging her in the butt. But you what? You yelling at somebody at the street speaking, and you what? Calling yourself pure. Once again, we gotta watch this. And the only reason I'm bringing it out is to say, look, we as a nation better check ourselves. Because it's gonna come hard at us first. We're the ones that supposedly know, right? All knowing Hebrew Israelites. Shit is scary. It's gonna start in my house, right? So once again, we're seeing the difference between carnal, spiritual, where the law was supposed to take us, but it didn't do it because we were carnal-minded. Y'all get that, right? Okay, go ahead.
Verse 11. For if that which is done away was glory,
right?
Much more that remaineth is glory.
Right. So the law, the letter, the punishment in that was done away with. How much more the Spirit is going to be glorious? Go ahead.
Seeing then that we have such hope, we use great plainness of speech,
right?
And not as Moses,
right?
Which put a veil over his face.
So what I'm giving you, I'm being plain with you. I'm not going to obscure the access, right? Moses covered his face because you weren't really going to understand. I'm not doing that. I'm giving you clarity so you can get access to the Holy Spirit. Go ahead.
That the children of Israel could not steadfastly look to the end of that which is abolished.
See? They couldn't look. Remember, that was symbolic for the law. They couldn't see it. Right? That's what the symbolism of the veil was on his face. Right? It was blinding. Right? So they really couldn't embody the law. We really didn't embody the law. It's the same thing nowadays, brothers. All it means is that people, when they read the laws, they get robotic, right? And not really embody the law and know why. So Christ came back and said, thou hast heard from the beginning, right? Thou shalt not commit adultery. I always tell you, the law says thou shalt not commit adultery, that's the door. The Spirit is when you pass that door, you know the law, but it says you open up that door and you walk through this hallway that leads you to Yahweh Shai. That's the Spirit. But if we don't go past it and we think, oh no, I already know what the law said. But in your heart, you are lusting. In your heart, you are fighting to not commit adultery. In your heart, you are fighting to not do some defiled thing. You're never going to reach the Spirit where Yahweh Shai gave his life to lead us to. Right? Con? What's that? All right, go ahead, read on.
Verse 14. But their minds were blinded.
But their minds were what?
Were blinded.
You see that? So what is that telling us? The law is spiritual, but I am carnal. I didn't see. I didn't have spiritual goggles on. You don't have to think, just do. What's the commandment say? Do that. Just do that, right? But what more is it that I'm supposed to be learning from this? You don't got to learn nothing, just do it. Right? They were blinded. Go ahead.
For until this day remain the same veil.
See, until this day, long as I got my fringes on, that makes me righteouser than the next brother. No, it doesn't. You know what I mean? It doesn't. Right? Well, I keep the Sabbath. That makes me more pure than this next brother. Nah, you don't know where this next brother's at in his heart. He could be beating himself on the floor and crying and praying to the Most High daily, right, for forgiveness. And how many times you pray? Right? How many times you study? He could be studying all day and you what? You ever think about that? Like one brother could be studying in the book, praying to the Most High, praying to the Most High in his mind, and you barely study. You barely pray. But you're more righteous because you know more? So the Most High is constantly checking that mind in us to stay humble. What he said earlier, are you commending yourself? Who gave you the commendation? Right? Go ahead.
For unto this day remaineth the same veil, untaken away in the reading of the Old Testament.
Right?
Which veil is done away in Hamashiach.
Right. The veil, not being clear why and what the law was written about, the understanding of the law was supposed to be taken away. Mind you, I said it was supposed to be taken away as we look closer into Yahushua and what Christ taught these men. Because remember, what is Paul giving us? What is Peter giving us? What Yahushua taught. So they were teaching us about the Spirit. Paul is teaching us about the spirit of the law.
In-depthness.
Right, the in-depthness. And when you look at things like that, he as a Jew is one inwardly. About circumcision. He wasn't saying don't get circumcised. He was saying, what does it profit if a man circumcises himself and still acts like a demon?
The circumcision of the mind.
It's a circumcision of the mind. And that's what we've been doing. That was written in the law. That was written in Jeremiah. Right? But did we catch it? Did we catch it when David said, thou desires not sacrifice, else would I give it?
For the sacrifices of the Most High is a broken spirit and a broken and contrite heart.
Right. Did we pick up on that? A lot of us didn't. A lot of people didn't. You see that? So this is what it means. Go ahead.
Verse 15. But even unto this day, when Moses is read, the veil is upon their heart.
The veil is upon their heart. Go ahead.
Nevertheless, when it shall turn to the Most High,
right,
the veil shall be taken away.
When you really turn to the Most High, you're going to be clear on what the Most High is saying about the spirit of the law, about Yahushua. You're going to look at yourself, you're going to look at other people, and you're going to really start judging different. You're going to really start looking at things different. Because you don't know. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Now the Most High is that Spirit.
Right.
And where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty.
Right. You can put that. Read that one more time.
Now the Most High is that Spirit. And where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty.
Right. But liberty do what? The church Christians like, see, I can do whatever I want to do. No, there's freedom in the spirit. It's freedom in the spirit to walk in the spirit of the Most High. Not to be a beast. Right? You forget Romans 8. Don't you know that if you're a servant of sin, right, that's what you'll be a slave to? That if you yield your members as servants of sin, that's what you will be, right? So they're not getting that. The liberty doesn't mean, oh, I don't got to do righteousness. The law is righteous, holy, and just. Go ahead.
But we all, with open face, beholding.
Your open face. We all, with your face, beholding, go ahead.
As in a glass, the glory of the Most High,
right,
are changed into the same image from glory to glory.
So, remember when we talk about this, looking in the mirror? Huh? What does that talk about? Y'all remember the other scripture? In James, right? It said about what? He beholded his face in the mirror, and he forget what manner of man he is? Well, what it's showing us here is this. Well, this individual is looking at his face in the mirror, right? Beholding as in a glass the glory of the Lord. And he's looking at himself, and he's seeing all the things that he needs to get rid of. And he knows that for us to be like Yahweh Shai, we have to what? Put off the things of the flesh. That's what it tells us in James. So that's the difference. One man is a bad example. He's beholding himself, and he don't see Christ. Who he see? He don't see Christ working in him. You see that? And that be the problem. You have to know that greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. If you let Yahweh Shai work through you, which is the laws, the commandments, the spirit of the law, right? Then you will walk like Christ. It says, are changed into the same image. So now I'm looking, I see Christ in me, or do you? And if you see him in you, right, then you'll be changed into the image from glory to glory, even as by the Spirit of the Lord. See, you'll let that Spirit work on you. But if you look in the mirror and you see what type of man or man you are, and you know that you're filthy and defiled, and Yahweh Shai is not peering through like he needs to be, then you won't be changed. You won't be changed from glory to glory. Y'all get that? Right. So, I mean, yeah, the Spirit wanted it this way. What's the last one? Go ahead.
Brother asked about Exodus 4.
Okay.
His question was, why did the Lord want to kill Moses? Because he never wanted to circumcise his son.
Exodus 4:23. Read that.
Exodus chapter 4, verse 23.
Uh-huh.
And I say unto thee, let my son go, that he may serve me.
Right.
And if thou refuse to let him go, behold, I will slay thy son, even thy firstborn. And it came to pass, by the way in the end, that the Most High met him and sought to kill him. Then Zipporah took a sharp stone and cut off the foot.
Oh, okay. We're at 4.
This is right after he told. This is the last one that the Most High said he was going to kill every firstborn son.
Right. Okay, so it jumps. I remember this. So you're thinking one thing, but it's not. Well, okay, so when we read 23.
Verse 23.
Start at 18, so we can get some kind of rhythm of what's going on here. Exodus 4 and 18. Go ahead.
Exodus chapter 4, verse 18.
Uh-huh.
And Moses went and returned to Jethro, his father-in-law, and said unto him, let me go, I pray thee, and return unto my brethren, which are in Egypt, and see whether they be yet alive.
Right.
And Jethro said unto Moses, go in peace.
Go ahead.
And the Most High said unto Moses in Midian, go, return into Egypt, for all the men are dead which sought thy life.
Uh-huh.
And Moses took his wife and his sons and set them upon an ass.
Okay, so what's going on here? Go ahead.
So Moses is returning back to Egypt after this time because he had killed the Egyptian and they sought his life for him.
Right.
So
everybody see that, right? Okay, go ahead.
And Moses
was going to say something.
So during this time, he went to the land of Midian. He met Jethro, which became his father-in-law because he married Zipporah.
Right.
And he had children. This is his firstborn son.
Go ahead.
And Moses took his wife and his sons and set them upon an ass.
Right.
And he returned to the land of Egypt.
Uh-huh.
And Moses took the rod of Yahweh in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
And the Most High said unto Moses, when thou goest to return into Egypt, see that thou do all those wonders before Pharaoh, which I have put in thine hand. But I will harden his heart, that he shall not let the people go.
Uh-huh.
And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith the Most High, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. And I say unto thee, let my son go, that he may serve me.
So that's what Moses was supposed to say unto who? Pharaoh. Right? Go ahead.
And if thou refuse to let him go, behold, I will slay thy son, even thy firstborn.
So I think you read this wrong, didn't you? This is not the Most High talking to Moses. This is about Moses. This is the Most High talking to Moses to relay a message to Pharaoh that if he didn't listen, he would do what?
Slay thy son,
right.
Even thy firstborn.
Right. And in the end, what was going to happen? That's what happened. Right. He wasn't talking to Moses about slaying his son. I don't know. Was that what he was thinking? No, this is the Most High giving the message to Moses to go give to Pharaoh and the outcome of what was going to happen to him.
He wants it all the way down to verse 26.
All right, go ahead.
Verse 24. And it came to pass by the way in the inn that the Most High met him and sought to kill him. Then Zipporah took a sharp stone and cut off the foreskin of her son and cast it at his feet.
Okay, so now what's going on here is it jumped. Okay? Because what happened during this time? Now it doesn't say Moses was out of order. It doesn't say Moses was tripping. It doesn't say Moses was like, nah, I ain't doing that. Remember, we can't add to or take away. It leaves it open here. He didn't do it. He just didn't get it done. Right? And does anywhere in the scriptures edify in-depthness of why he didn't get it done? Or does the scriptures allude to him just being disrespectful with Yahweh? I gotta be careful. You gotta be careful with that, because when you deal with the damn Esau, when you deal with these movies, they try to portray Moses as a what? Madman. As a madman, as him like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, like
the Most High said he was the meekest man on earth.
Arguing with a child who's supposed to be God.
Right, he's arguing with the angels. So let's read this with that in mind. That Moses is the meekest man on earth. I don't got no reason to say, oh, Moses was out of order and he just didn't want to do it. I would say that Moses didn't get around to do it, and Zipporah's like, hold on a second. This has got to be done. Let's speak to his character, right? Is there anywhere in the precepts that argue or that say otherwise that he was out of order here? Like when he got out of line and he didn't smite the rock, or he didn't speak to the rock, excuse me, right? The Most High made it clear, you out of order. He would have done that here. So I know a lot of times when we don't find it, we're like trying to add. Well, let's add according to the gospel. It never said Moses was disgruntled, out of order, disrespectful, defiant in this instance. He just didn't get to it, and the Most High is like, look, I'm not playing with you. I'm not playing with you. You needed to get this done. His wife stepped in and what? Did it. Okay, go ahead.
And said, surely a bloody husband art thou to me.
Because you made her do that. That wasn't her job. It was his job to do that. Go ahead.
So he let him go. Then she said, a bloody husband thou art, because of the circumcision.
Right. No, read on.
Verse 27.
Right.
And the Most High said to Aaron, go into the wilderness.
See? You see how that little slot of writing, it didn't really go deep into the reason or Moses' psychology. Or the Most High didn't even edify through the prophet, like what was it? You know what I mean? That he did wrong. Y'all see that? I'm going to say it again. He was out of order, disrespectful, defiant, or this crazy Moses they try to portray him as. It didn't do that. So I'm going to leave it I stay safe in the gospel. I'm not going to add or take away. I'm going to say, look, if it was out of order, he would have said it. He would have said, Moses, you out of order, right? And you're not doing this, right? Yeah, he stopped him because it needed to be done. That was the law. That was the rule. You see that? But other than that, there's nothing else. Yeah.
Ecclesiastes 45:1.
Right.
Because I like it because
Yeah.
it shows us, the Bible shows us the good, the bad. Again, it doesn't say Moses did anything wicked. He may just forgot, right? Or
he may have been. Remember, we got a few things going on here.
Right. He's checking Pharaoh, letting Pharaoh know, like, free the Most High's people.
Right.
Yeah.
So his mind is set on the angel of the Lord just came to me, right? But hold on, there's other things that still need to be done too, right? And the Most High showed him that was serious. I mean,
but when it checks the mind, especially when we go back to yesterday's class about being obedient to your husband, and some sisters' excuse would be because of imperfection of their man.
Right.
But look at this sister. She went out and assisted her husband.
Right, she did.
Yeah, we believe that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 45, verse 1. And he brought out of him a merciful man, which found favor in the sight of all flesh, even Moses, beloved of the Most High.
The Bible called him beloved of the Most High.
Right. So when we go over this, because this is not the first time this question's asked. The thing is that you're wanting to put in something that ain't there. So be careful with that. It doesn't really dive into what happened. It's like out of the whole story, this is like thrown in there out of nowhere to show that he needed to be on top of something. But the Most High never, at this moment, discredited or said he was out of order. His rib did it. He should have done it. He should have been on top of it. And that's what you leave it as. Right. Yeah, there you go. And be not ignorant in the small things or the great things. And that's what I look at it when you deal with him. Like, yeah, he had things he was doing, but this was a small matter. That was a big matter. Let's bring your kids under this bond of the covenant. Yeah.
So, did the Most High accepted it as though it was Moses because they were one?
Right. Remember, the point was circumcision. The letter of the law. The letter of the law was what? Circumcise your kid. So yes, the Most High accepted it because he did what was in the law, or they did what was in the law. Bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. Two twine become one. They agreed together. Right? Right. What's up? He's what? He's rushing where? He's rushing to class?
He said, I'm Russian. Can I join you?
He might be an Israelite Russian. Why I got a second question? You know what I mean? There's black Russians. There's Israelite Russians. Sure. You know what I mean? Of course, we need to get in Russia. There's Israelites out there? Are there Hebrew Israelites in Russia? Well, hell yeah. Let's go to Russia now. Get us out to Russia. Let us preach this word.
That's Danya.
You said what?
That's Danya.
That's Danya?
Yeah, that's Russian.
Okay.
Speaking in tongues.
I think you're butchering Russian right there. That was actually Russian? Okay, damn. I'm sorry, bro. This is yeah. What else?
Okay, Job 3:11. This is from
Okay, Job 3:11. Let's go there.
verse 11 to verse
I guess this became a question class. Job 3:11.
God.
I gotta steal that off. Job chapter 3 and verse 11. Why died I not from the womb?
Right.
Why did I not give up the ghost when I came out of the belly?
So that's it. That's all he had a question about.
From verse 11 to 19.
Okay, I was gonna say, all right. So we know why Job is saying this, y'all. We know Job is going through it, right? He's catching it. So he's saying, man, it'd been better if I went from the cradle to the grave, right? It'd been better if I did that. You know, remember, he's mourning, right? He's in his emotions and feelings, but not disrespecting the Father. Always maintaining his integrity, right? Remember, I read the whole book. You read the whole book. We know what's going on here. He was righteous all the way through to where Yahweh had to come in the end and remind everybody else. No, Job is on point, right? So it wasn't in the context. The Holy Spirit wasn't in the context like he was just abandoning the Most High. He was just saying, man, you know what? Damn, if I would have lived like this, I'm saying my petition to the Father. I might as well just have died if this is what life is going to be. Y'all get that? Go ahead.
Why did the knees prevent me? Or why the breast that I should suck?
Right. I could have just the knees prevent me, meaning I could have just died in the belly. Right? I could have just went out from my birth. And that's what he's saying here. Go ahead.
For now should I have lain still and been quiet.
Right. I
should have slept. Then had I been at rest.
Right.
With kings and counselors of the earth.
Right. He's saying, look, if I just died, I'd be with all the other men, great men that died in the earth. Right? Go ahead.
Which built desolate places for themselves.
Right.
Or with princes that had gold.
Because I like this. This shows that he himself was a rich, wealthy, right, man, Israelite man in that region, right? So he didn't say, yeah, you just, with the bums. He's like, look, I would have died like the kings of the earth, right? The prestige, the elite. Go ahead.
Who filled their houses with silver. Or as an hidden, untimely birth, I had not been. As infants which never saw light.
Right. So, yeah, man, if life is going to be like this, why you just didn't kill me from the womb? It'd been better if I had not been born. I mean, right? Oppression maketh a wise man man. Right? And when you get in there, when you get in that mode, you're praying to the Most High like, damn, if this was life was going to be, why live, right? This is what he's saying. Go ahead.
There the wicked cease.
Right? There the wicked stop. Meaning that, how do you stop the wicked? You put them to death. Right? Go ahead.
From troubling. And there the weary be at rest.
And where the ones that are oppressed and depressed and broke down, that's where it all stops, right? The pain, the suffering, the agony. It stops in the grave. Right? We know, because with the Father, when our spirit goes back to the Most High,
no remembrance.
Right? No, that ends. No, that when you die, that ends. You in the bosom, you with the Most High. Right? There's another plane that you're on now. Right? And we don't know everybody where everybody's gonna go. You don't know what everybody's meant for. Right? Go ahead.
There the prisoners rest together.
Right?
They hear not.
Right. When it says the prisoners, those jailbirds, I gotta serve life in the grave. Now you're at rest. You don't gotta serve that no more. You don't gotta get three hots in a cot. 2 hots in a cot. You don't gotta live that life no more. Everything ends then. All the pain and the trials and the tribulation of earth is done. Right? My rear, she asked me the other day, she's like, damn, I said something about somebody dying. I said, they processing it different. And she asked me, she said, well, when your dad died, how did you? I said, I process it different. I'm looking at it like this. He's at rest. He's at peace. You don't got to pay bills. And I didn't look at it like, I look at it like, damn, you got out. I looked at it like that. I'm like Paul on this one. I'm like, for me to live is Christ, yes, but to die is gain. I know. You're like, what the heck? Let's think about it. What the hell is this life?
Yes.
Now we know for me to live is Christ. It's better for me to be here with you. That's what he said. We got a mission. We got a job. I'm not saying somebody abandon ship, go jump out a window with a rope around their neck. The Bible don't teach that. What I'm saying is that who doesn't want to be with the Most High? I mean, we want this pain to stop. We want the damn jobs to stop. We want Esau to be damn taken down. Right? We want this wicked world to be crushed. So that's what he said. It's like, I rather, there's the freedom being with the Father. Right? He's not speaking on a hell aspect. Because he knows there's punishment. We knew that as Hebrews. He's speaking from a straight, I ain't here no more. Anything but I'm not here on this earth. Right? Go ahead.
They hear not the voice of the oppressor.
Right? Yeah, you don't hear that no more. Boy, give me that over there, boy. They don't hear that no more. Oh, we need you to do a little bit of overtime. I just did overtime. The hell? Nah, it's the Sabbath. I'm off today. No, we need you. You see that? You ain't gotta hear that. Go ahead.
The small and great are there.
Right? The kings and the janitors. Right? We all gonna meet that place one day. Go ahead.
And the servant is free from his master.
Right. Was that it?
Come, 19.
Yeah. So that's what it's talking about. It's just talking about the place of death. We know that being with the Father, we're going to be free from all these earthly demands. The earthly demands, the job, the punishment, the jail, right? Read that. Go to Ecclesiastes 41:3.
Come. Ecclesiastes chapter 41, verse 3.
Ecclesiastes 41:3.
Fear not the sentence of death.
Hold on, y'all got it? Okay, go ahead.
Fear not the sentence of death.
Go ahead.
Remember them that have been before thee,
Right.
and that come after. For this is the sentence of the Lord over all flesh.
Right. For this is the sentence over all flesh. So I know it's easier said than done. Have anybody ever had one of those death situations to where you could have almost died? So you see the life flash before your eyes, and I'm talking about really. Yeah? Yeah? Yeah. When I took that tincture, I thought I was dying. I was like,
It's freaking out.
yeah, bruh. Like when you can't hold your breath, that's a different story. Like, why can't I breathe? Why is my brain not doing? Why is my body not doing what my thoughts are saying? And you're like, holy. You start like, wait a minute, this is not happening. It's different, but the truth is, the Most High, we know it's coming. Right? For some of us, sooner than later. Some of us, we might not taste death till we see the Son of Man coming. Right? So, Most High said the wicked are prepared for the day of destruction. He said the righteous are going to see that great day. So, everybody's not going to die, but some of us might. It's a sentence on all flesh, right? How are you going to go out? I was thinking about that the other day. You want to go, when that plane, the plane fell out of the sky and hit the truck, I'm like, man, whoever was in that truck, the Most High was like, hold on. I'm like, bruh, it was meant for you. If a whole plane falls out of the sky to get you, it's meant.
Who did say?
Yeah, who did? You like, bruh, you did something. Right. You know, you gotta think about that. Like when it's time, it's time. So there's no escaping that, right? That's in Ecclesiastes as well. Read on.
Verse 4. And why art thou against the pleasure of the Most High?
Look how he just wrote that. He said, death comes out all. Why you tripping? You believe in the Lord, right? You want what the Lord wants, right? You're like, huh? You don't even know how to answer that, right? Like, God, Yahweh, if it be thy will, it is thy will. That's the fact of it. That you can't control it. The Most High controls these things. Go ahead.
There is no inquisition in the grave.
Right? It's too late. All that, oh Lord, if you give me. No, you're done right now, bro. You're done. Go ahead.
Neither thou have lived 10 or 100 or 1,000 years.
Right. You see that? Whether thou has lived 10 or 100 or 1,000 years. Y'all see that? Okay, and it goes down. All right, so tells you about the righteous, how they go to perish, and how the wicked perish. Yeah.
They perish with shouting.
Yeah, they perish with shouting. Yeah, you see that? Remember at the Super Bowl parade? It shot 22 people. One died, and most of them were all under 18. At the parade, the football parade? Kids, two kids were arguing. Well, one person said they seen one guy spinning around, just damn. He hit 22 people got shot. One dead. Yeah. So, like you said, was shouting.
Yeah, that's all I be thinking about.
Yeah.
As long as I don't go out like that.
Calm.
Yeah, I'm going like
Everybody looking at me, got shot. Oh, his head.
Con. What else we got online? That's our time. Yeah. So remember, if y'all got any other questions, we got Sabbath morning class. Feel free to hold those questions. We can come back after class tomorrow. All right. That's it. Anything else online? Okay.
Oh yeah, they out there in Kansas City.
Really? Oh, they stay home. And that's what I was thinking. You think everything's good. You trying to live like everybody in like the world. You better walk circumspectly. The days are evil. Everybody trying to act like it ain't going down. We were just talking about that over the phone, man. Like, I think we should quiet. It's like, you got all these wars going around the world, but everybody is like in the days of Noah.
Yep.
They partying, they dancing,
Yep.
and they giving in marriage. They're not paying attention to that. And we gotta be very aware, walk as wise, not as fools. It's going down, And I know, like it says in Peter, don't say it. The Lord delayeth his coming. They've been talking about that for millions of years. Yeah, they said that too until water fell from, and they have to kill everybody on the earth. So, yeah, and that's it. Say what? Secrets will be YOLO. We'll change that. All right, so salute everybody. Say shalom.
Shalom.
Shabbat shalom, y'all. Shabbat shalom.